Welcome back to my new video on errors. So with any programming language, there are error constructs where you write pieces of code and then you expect some errors. Should they happen, you want to find a way to catch these errors and then print some messages to the user. Okay, so if you have done Java, C#, Scala, and then the others, you realize that they have a way of handling their own errors. So let's say Python will use a try, except, Java will use try, catch, exception, and things like that. Okay, so with Golang, they do it differently. So I'm going to show you how Golang does error handling. So let's jump right into the IDE, and then I'm going to create a new directory called errors. Okay, and then inside the errors folder, I'm going to create a new Golang file, and on top of the main function, I'm going to declare a function that I'm going to call, let's say, f up. Okay, let's call it FERR. All right, just calling it FERR. And then it's going to expect a number, which is an integer. And then it's going to return an integer and also an interface called what? Error. All right. So within this function, we are going to check a condition. Okay. So we're going to say if number is equal to, let's say, 45. Okay. We want to return a -1. The return type is going to -1, as well as errors. So as you can see, this function has a lot of methods we can use. This class has a lot of methods. So we see errors dot new, and this new, we can either use the text or the string. So let's use the string. Okay, let's not use the string. Let's use the text. So I'm going to clean this. All right, so I'm just going to put cannot work with the number 45. So with our import, we're going to import fmt and then errors as well. Okay, so now you can see our error goes away. Else, we want to return number, and then we want to add, let's say, 50 to it. And because we are returning this number, which is an integer, it corresponds with this integer here. And the error, we need to return nil, because the error is going to be nil. Nil is also a keyword, meaning that nothing. Okay, so if we come here in our main function, if we we declare, let's say, numbers array is going to contain like 3 elements, and it's going to be an integer. So let's say it contains 24, 45, and then let's say 50. Okay. So we want to use the for loop to loop over these elements. And once we loop over these elements, we're going to get the index and then the value. Okay, but we are not interested in the index. So we use the underscore, and then we use the variable name val, and then we use the range to loop over the numbers. Okay. So now inside our for loop, we're going to check for the condition that we're now going to call our function, okay, FERR, and then we pass in value. The value is going to return to the result and then an error, but we want to say the results, and then error, okay? But we want to also check the error if there are no errors. So we say if ERR is nil, then we want to print the results as, okay, so here it's going to, this FERR returns 2 results, the error and then the actual output. But we want to check if the error is nil, then we want to print the results, okay? But in the same vein, else, we can also say else. We can also say else FERR worked. And then let's rather print the results here. And then we should rather say error is ERR. So we are handling the errors here. And then if the error is nil, then we are going to print this part of the code. But if we catch an error, then this side is going to print. So we're going to violate this condition, okay? So let's, because we have 45 in there, definitely it's going to violate. So let's run this code. You see, 74, this is 24 plus 50 is for 74. And then it moved to the next one, which is 45. But because we said number is equal to 45, it should return -1 and then print this message. So that is what we see here, okay? And then if it moves to the next integer array, which is 50, this condition is going to fail. But we want to add 50 to that number. And then we print FERR worked, so which is what we have 100. So this is how we can handle errors using Golang. So you return the error message, but most of the time you might end up with another curly braces here, which returns the result versus the error. So when there is no error, the code goes ahead to print this side. If there is an error, it print this one. So as you see, 45 was violated. So it's going to print this one. Okay. So because we are returning two values, -1 goes to this integer, and then the error message goes for this one. Okay. So I think that is all for errors handling using Golang. If you have any comments, issues, problems, you don't understand any of the concept, please don't forget to send me or leave a comment in the comment section below, and then I'm going to respond to you as soon as possible. See you in the next one.